Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and serious get well thoughts to Bremster, who wrote to us to say that he recently had to spend 3 days in hospital, a week in hospital, including 3 days in intensive care, and he got diagnosed with epiglottitis and complications, and to be honest, nearly died. I mean, I really feel very sorry for Bremster. He's not had his physical or indeed mental health problems to find. It's been a tough period for him generally, and we very much wish him well. But he says that a few constructors made puzzles for him to aid his recovery under the pseudonym Team B, and this puzzle was one of them. Bremster absolutely loved it and felt he had to recommend it to us, so I'm going to give it a go. He's checked with the original creator, and the puzzle doesn't need to be recredited to them, but he thinks it's a thing of beauty and we should feature it no matter the provenance. So that's brilliant. It's called 15's Coming Out Your Ears, and indeed there's a lot of 15 cages in it. Do give it a try on the link under the video. I'm going to first of all tell you, before I have a go, about our wonderful patron reward, April Foolery, which is available on our Patreon site. There's a link under the video, and if you go to Patreon, you can see there's a new connections video, there's crossword videos and solution videos to past month's hunts, all sorts going on there. Do please check it out, join us there, help keep our channel going if you would be so kind. There are also, of course, all of our apps linked under the video. They include Killer Sudoku, but they also include the latest Fog of War Sudoku with puzzles that clear as you place digits. Very interactive and very good fun. There's our merchandise, which features the latest Secret Squared t-shirt, very popular item. Thank you very much if you've bought any of our merch, and if you're wearing it especially. There are also water bottles and other things that are non-wearable mugs, but check it out anyway. And SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD's linked under the video too. So loads there, but loads of joy to be had with the Sudokus that we do every day. And this one, as I say, is called 15's Coming Out Your Ears. I'm going to read the rules now, and we're going to see if we can apply ourselves to the puzzle. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 will go in every row, column and 3 by 3 box. Each cage in this puzzle has a sum of 15, and they are marked as such, but that's what the cage totals are every time. How many of them are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 15 cages in the puzzle. Also, there are some quadruple circles, and digits in a quadruple circle must appear in the 4 cells touching the quadruple at least once. So those digits have to be 1, 2, or they have to include 1, 2, and 3. There is at least 1 7 in this 2 by 2 area. There could be 2, but there's at least 1. And those are the rules. Give it a try on that link. And if you get stuck, watch my attempt. Maybe I'll be stuck at the same point. I'm going to try now. Let's get cracking. So I did notice when I was doing that intro, and this is potentially quite helpful, that 1, 2, 3 appears in circles all around the corners. So let's just highlight those 4 2 by 2 areas and then discuss how X-wings can be mandated by quadruple circles, because it's a very useful technique when you're doing quadruples puzzles. Always worth looking out for places where the same digit appears in a circle in 2 boxes, and let me explain the circumstances in which it is helpful and why. Think about the digit 1 in these 2 regions. It must appear in both of them. Now that is going to use up all the 1s in rows 1 and 2, because there's only 1 in each, that's the rule. But it's also going to use up the 1s in boxes 1 and 3. So when we have to find a 1 in row 3, we know we can't look in box 1 and we can't look in box 3. We're going to have to place it in box 2, in these 3 cells, because it can't be in row 1 or 2 again. And the same is going to apply in this puzzle to 1, 2 and 3, and they're going to go in all of those cells in box 2 and be a triple. Now, this is going to keep applying in the columns 8 and 9, in rows 8 and 9, and in columns 1 and 2. And I think that means we can form virtual X-wings of 1s, 2s and 3s there and place them all here. Virtual X-wings there and place them all here. Virtual X-wings there and place them all here. And that gives us this little circle, ooh, very poorly drawn circle, of 1s, 2s and 3s, are in sort of Fistmafel ring style around the grid. Now that's not informing us of anything. I mean, we could have actually done that by Fistmafel ring thinking, because in the Fistmafel ring, which I'm not going to prove today unless I have to later, those 16 digits must contain exactly the same digits, not just total, as those 16 digits. And the only way, if the blue areas contain all of the 1, 2, 3s in boxes 1, 3, 7 and 9, that's the only way going to be to fit them into the Fistmafel ring. Anyway, that is a digression. Now, I don't think in this puzzle there are other digits. Okay, what we have is we can do something with the 7 here, because we know there's a 7 in one of those cells in box 8. So now in box 8, the 7 in box 8 can't appear in these two and must appear in one of those. And look, the same is true symmetrically about the 8 in this quadruple circle. There's an 8 there, and therefore 8 appears in one of those two cells. Oh, hang on, there's a 7 X-wing and an 8 X-wing. Right, the 7 X-wing, just look at those two regions which must include 7. Apply the lesson from earlier, and we know that 7 now must appear in box 2 in one of these two cells. But we also know, let's just change this region. So look at 8s in these green regions, there's 2 of them. So 8 must be in those two cells, and that is now a 7-8 pair. And thank you, green. Are there any others that I'm missing? Yes, there's an 8 there and an 8 there. So the 8 around this quadruple must be there. And there's 7 there and 7 there. So the 7 around this one must be on the top side. I might have missed one more obvious quadruple. Oh, I've missed an overlap. Which, these are in some ways the simplest things to see in quadruple circles. I've completely missed it. There's got to be a 2 in one of those 4 cells, but there's got to be a 2 in one of those 4. Well, there's only one overlap, and there it is. Now, haven't really done much hard thinking yet in the puzzle. I've just told you things I know about quadruples. What do we do next? Obviously there's a 9 in one of those two, and that means the 9 at the bottom is in one of those two, and there's a 9 in one of these 3. And that's quite interesting, because in this central box where I've done nothing, the digits that appear in the quadruple circles are all the digits apart from 9. And you might imagine that your instinct would lead you to expect that 9 would go in the middle for some reason, but it doesn't. It goes in one of these cells. I don't quite know why that is the case, but it is. That means 1, 5, 3, 6 and 9 are limited here. These digits can only be selected from 2, 4, 7 and 8. Okay, something I'm seeing about the 15 cages involves the secret. I think I mentioned at the beginning that there are 12 15 cages in this puzzle. I think there are another 6 virtual 15 cages in the puzzle. Let me try and explain what I mean. So there's this let me get rid of the colouring for now. And have a look at these rows and columns. Rows 159, columns 159. Now these are where all the 15 cages are situated. So in each of these highlighted rows, there are 2 3-cell 15 cages. Now, what do the other 3 digits add up to? Well, yet again, it's 15, because we know that the sum of every row, column and box in a Sudoku is 45. That's the secret. Take it to your grave. But if we deduct the other 2 15 cages, we're left with 15 for those 3 cells. So that's a virtual 15 cage in row 1. There's another one in row 5. There's another one in row 9. There's one in column 9. There's one in column 5. And there's one in column 1. So we're finding loads of these 15 cages in the puzzle. I don't know. Let me just go back to the 2x2 corner boxes. Yeah, I've just had a thought about these. The digits in these highlighted regions that are not 1, 2 and 3, where do they go? And I do know something about this now. One of them goes in each of rows 1, 2, 8, 9. One of them goes in each of columns 1, 2, 8, 9. Obviously one of them goes in each of boxes 1, 3, 7, 9. So they are a bit constrained. If that corner was a low digit from 1, 2, 3. Right, this is where what I was just talking about. Am I right to use the word interstices and interstitial for these cells, which are kind of the gaps in the trellis or framework that forms rows 159, columns 159? Remember, these are 6 virtual 15 cages. Now, focus on this one. This cannot have low digits in both corners, because the most they could be is a 2 and a 3 adding up to 5. Given that with this cell they have to add up to 15, it would be impossible. This would have to be at least 10. So no 2 corners in this puzzle, in any row, in any perimetric row or column, can be low. And therefore at least 2 of these 4 corners are not low digits. At least 2 of them are higher than 3. Okay. And since these 4 digits, yes, this is what I was just saying about one of each non-low digit must be in columns 1, 2, 8 and 9, for instance. These 4 digits can't all be low either, or you'd be putting 4 digits from the set of 1, 2, 3 into 4 cells. And that just doesn't make sense. So one of those is low. So one of these corners is high. The same is true for one of these corners. So there are definitely 2 low and 2 high corners in this puzzle. And the 2 low ones are diagonally opposite each other, there or there, and the 2 high ones are diagonally opposite each other as well. Let's just orange flash those cells so I'm understanding what I'm saying. Now, yeah, we can go further. If those were the 2 low corners, no, if those were the 2 high corners, then all of these cells would be low to obey the quadruples, and all of these cells, that's more important, in row 1 all of those would be low to get the 3 low digits in there, and in column 1 those 3 would be low, and this would be left as high and this would be left as high, and that is the way it must be. Right, So either, okay, let's change the colour. Either you get the high digits in those two purple cells and those two purple cells, the high digits that do appear in these corners, or you get them in the two orange cells and the two orange cells, and you know that is not right because we've got a 2 in the grid in one of those. So that is not where the high cells go. They go in these purple cells. These are, let's get rid of the blue, basically. Now we can just use light blue as the 1, 2, 3 colour. And some of these cells see the given 2. There we go. So this is correct pencil marking. And now we can use this fact that we can't have 2 low digits in any 15 cage or any virtual 15 cage. In fact, all of the rest of these columns, everything else in columns 1, 2, 8, 9, rows 1, 2, 8, 9 is non-low because we found all of the 1, 2, 3 digits. So let's assume orange so far stands for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In fact, in the corner boxes, we've got all 3 lows. Oh, of course, these are low. We found that out early on. So that is the position. Now, I was about to try and generalize into saying that, yes, it is definitely true that none of these 15 cages, either virtual or other, can contain more than 1 low digit. All the cages we've sort of sketched in so far do have 1 low digit, but that's going to mean all of these cells are non-low and not 2, 1 or 3. So that's not a 2. And now in row 5, we need 1 more low digit, same as we do in column 5. There it is in the middle. Now I don't know if that's 1, 2 or 3 because it doesn't, the quadruple corner cells in the central box aren't telling me, but it is one of them. I think we can go further. In these 15 cages, once we have a low digit, I think we may know that the others are middly and high. Let's just think about that. Get rid of the orange. Yes, if we tried to get 2 high digits in, they would add up to at least 15 already. That's no good. If we try to get, well, you can have a cage that is 3 middly digits. 4, 5 and 6. That is a valid 15 cage. I haven't seen it happen anywhere in this puzzle yet. And I'm wondering maybe we've got to the point where it can't happen, but I'm not sure. But bear in mind, you could have 3 middly. Other than that, I think you can't have, if you have 2 middly, you have to have a third. If you have 2 low, it's broken. If you have 2 high, it's broken. So I think every cage in this puzzle is going to be 1 low, 1 middly digit, 4, 5 or 6, and 1 high, 1, 7, 8 or 9. Now, we've got some high, we've got 2 places where there are definite highs. And I'll use red for high. So that must be middly. This is fair enough so far. Now, these cells can't be 7, 8 or 9 or 1, 2 or 3. They are definitely middly. These can't have an 8 in either because of the quadruple and the 8 there. These are definitely middly. And now this is high and this is high. And remember, there's this other cage in the top row, virtual cage, that's going to need 1 high and 1 middly. And I could use a different colour, green and orange. I don't know which of those is going to turn into red and yellow, but look, we've got another cage in this final column. That's green. We've got another one in the central row, another interstitial cage. That's green, that's orange. We can colour that much in. What's that going to mean? One of these two, these are different. So one is middly and one is high. Whichever one is middly completes the middly set in the box, and whichever one is high completes the high set in the box. I don't know which it is. Oh, this digit can't be 1, 2 or 3 based on the circles. So, it's middly or high, isn't it? No, that is the wrong colouring. Yellow or red for middly or high. I mean, I could also have coloured it green or orange. I'm wondering if green and orange is a pointless step at the moment. Let's take them out. I don't want to get confused. I'm easily confused by over-colouring. So these are selected from 4, 5 and 9 because they can't be from 1, 2, 3 or from 6, 7, 8, which are confined in the box. These are also from 4, 5, 9. That's not annoyingly telling me which of these is middly or high. Oh, these were always going to be middly or high. We worked that out earlier when I was doing the orange. Now, 2 more of these are low. Well, this has got to be low. In this column, yeah, these can't be low because we've had the low digits in this box. So that's the third low in the column. That's giving us 3 lows in this row, so that's not low, and this is the third low in its row and column. Oh, and this low can't be 1 or 2, that's 3. This one can't be 1 or 3, that's 2. This must be the 1. Right, now we can take 1 out of those cells, actually, and these ones. We can take 2 out of lots of cells here. Can we do some Sudoku and adding up soon? Because I'd feel much more comfortable than thinking about the colours all over the place. The trouble is we don't know what colours these are. One of these is that one of each? Or could they both be high? You see, I just don't know the answer to that. That's irritating. Okay, I'm going to remove those colours just because they're confusing me a bit. Okay, come on, Mark. Think it through. What's going on here? We've got an 8 somewhere here. There's definitely an 8 in one of those 2 cells. And there's definitely a 6 in one of those 2. 6 could not go with 3 in a cage, or it would need another 6. So one of these is a 6-2 pair. The other one has a 3. That's not actually that helpful. Missing something now. There's a 5 somewhere around this. That can't be 5. Is that narrowing down the possibilities here? These add up to 11, 13, 12 or 14. No, that really isn't narrowing them down. I still don't know what colour this is. And yet maybe it is this 5 that makes the difference, that being 4 or 6. The 5 in the top row has to be in one of those cells. Goodness, okay, I'm not really getting what's going on at this point. I need to think it through. Oh, this one. That's interesting. So these 2 cells in this virtual interstitial cage down the central column are either 5, 9 or 6, 8. If they were 6, 8, that would be the 6 because of the 8 being here. If they were 5, 9, I don't necessarily know which way round they would be. Can we do, I don't suppose we can do anything with, I mean, I bet that's a 6, 8 pair. Although that would be the 6 and that would be the 8, because we've narrowed 8 down into one of these. Oh look, there's a 6. There's a 6 X-Wing that I've never spotted. Oh my goodness, I saw the 7 one earlier. Did I miss another one here? No, I found 7 and 8 there. Here I found the 7, but I never found the 6 X-Wing. So that's a 6-7 pair. That's going to be big. That is going to be big because it puts 8 in one of those cells, tells us where 8 is in the central box. Now, this is either a 5, well, we know it's not high, it's not a 9, it's a 5, 8, 2, 5, or a 4, 8, 3, 4. So, one of these is a 6. This is the 9, yes, that is remaining in the box. Right, I can colour that baby. And now we can do our interstitial entropic set. That's yellow. And that's the last yellow. That's not 7. These are all red in the box. And now we've got another interstitial cage here that needs red in the corner. That becomes yellow. That becomes red. That becomes yellow. That is beautiful. Okay, so 9 itself is red. We can count in this column. That's yellow. Can we do some arithmetic now? Please. Please let me do arithmetic. I have a feeling we won't be able to quite yet. Or maybe we can. 6 was in one of those cells. Now, I thought that was an interesting finding, but I don't know whether that's a 6. Oh, yes, I do. I know that this is a 7 in this column because we've had the other 2 reds. So that is an 8-9 pair. Now, these add up to 9, 11, 10 or 12. So this can be any yellow digit here. That's not thrilling. And I don't know. No, the fact that one of those was 6 just keeps... Well, we already knew 6 was in one of these 2 cells. Now, does it have to be here? I bet it is there, but does it have to be? I don't know. This is 1 red and 1 yellow, and the red is 9. So 7 is in one of these 2, which we kind of knew from the information we had before. From the quadruple is what I mean. Sorry, I'm waffling away as I'm trying to think and talk at the same time and getting worse. Oh, this is not 5. Because of the 5 we've got here. So that's now a 4-6 pair, and this is definitely 5. And that gives me 6 and 4. Now I can just add up this cage and put in a 3. Now I can finish off some sets of blue in the columns even. This is a 7-4 pair, fulfilling the quadruple. That can't be 4. This is, oh, we can just add this cage. That's a 6, this is a 5. This is now a 5-9 pair. Okay, let's have a quick... A 9-3 doesn't work because you need to repeat a 3. 9-2 would need a 4 here. 5-3 would need a 7 here, which is not possible. 5-2 would need an 8 here. That is possible. Still haven't unwound things, haven't unwound which colours these are. The 1 either goes with, the 1 now can't go with 5 and 9 because it would break that cell. So it's 8 and 6 in the virtual cage spanning the interstices of the middle row. I realise that word sounds a bit prolix. To coin another one, but there we go, that's what I'm doing. Now these 2 have to add up to 11. They must be 9 and 2. That's a 5, that's 3, and hopefully this cage will add up to the right total. It does. 1 and 2, 3 and 1. All of those blues around the centre are done. This is a 7-8 pair. That's very clear. 4 and 6, I have been observing, have to be in this group of cells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. This is 5, 7 or 9. It's not 5 according to the column. So it's a red 7 or 9. Now does that have any impact on anything? Not really. It's not pointing at any triples. Yellow. Sorry, 5 and 4 are always yellow. 7 and 9 are always red. I think full colouring is going to be helpful here, even if it's kind of served its purpose. Those two are red, so that's yellow. In fact, let's just have a look at these totals. 10, 11, 9 or 8. Leaving this to be 7, 6, 5 or 4. Well, it must be 5 or 4. We knew that anyway. The fact that it's 5 or 4, does that limit one of these? It might do, actually. 5 plus 10 is no good. 7 plus 8 works. 6 plus 9 is no good. I don't think this can be a 1, because we can't make these into a 5, 9 or a 6, 8 pair. So that's a 3. That's a 1. That's quite odd. I didn't expect that to work out like that. We get to place 1 here. That must be in a 1, 5, 9 cage now. That's not 1. One of those is 1. None of these are 3. That's a 3. I can add up this cage with a 7. That gives us 8 and 7 there. That makes this a 9. They're not done. This is probably a 9 here, but that's not a basis for writing it in. We've got 5 and 8 still to place in row 2. That's a slightly unexpected pair. This seems to have to be a 4 in the column, and this must be a 9. Therefore, and now we can add up this cage, presumably. 9, 1 needs a 5, 9, 2 needs a 4. Well, we can add it up and then be uncertain about the outcome. That is 7 or 8 in the column. Oh, 5 and 9, this column. 1, 5, 9 and 8. And we've had a 2, 3 pair. So this is 4, 6 or 7. So let's have a look at this cage now. This can't, yes, it could be a 6, 7 pair with a 2. If it was 4, 6, we would need a 5. If it was 4, 7, we would need a 4. There's no 4 there. This is 6 or 7. That is a 2. And that's going to look across here and sort out 1 and 2. This is going to finish the puzzle, actually. I do believe it is going to. I get 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spot. Light losing its religion. Right, now I was going to do this cage. That's a 6, 4 in the corner. Oh, I thought that was going to yield all around the perimeter, working out what everything is. This is either 9 or 7, obviously. This one is 4 or 6 by elimination. No, this has to be 1, 6, 8 now. That's it. So that's now 4, that's a 9, that's just calculation. That's a 7 by Sudoku, 8 and 7. I can calculate this one as a 4. I could have done that one as a 5 a while ago. This 5, 9 pair are not resolved, nor are this 6, 7 pair. To my chagrin, that's become an 8. That's become a 5. I can colour that if I want. Red. These are both yellow. So here's our 5, 6, 4 triple finally. It's not in a cage or any form of area that needed to be coloured or needed to add up to 15 is what I mean. And it didn't. So I can colour those because I can see they're going to be 6 and 7. I can also do 5 and 9 there. The 5's are yellow, the 9 is red. This is a very elegant puzzle. There's no doubt at all about that. That's become a 6. That's going to clue me in on 8 and 6 here. I can just do 7 and 4. That's become a 9, 5 in the row, 9 and 8 still to go. So let's colour away to finish off the colouring with 3 reds and 3 yellows, and that's an 8. And that is where the 15s are coming out your ears. They were all over the place in this puzzle, not just the given 15s, but some hidden 15s as well. It's a very clever construction. Really good stuff from Team B there, and certainly just the sort of thing to make Bremster feel better, I would hope. And we wish him all the absolute best. So thank you very much for watching us on the channel as always, and we hope you'll be with us on CTC again tomorrow. Bye for now.